Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Ohio.
The Indians have already made history this season, and it's only September. The Tribe has won 15 straight, an all-time franchise record. Just capped off the 5th undefeated road trip of at least 11 games in baseball history, first ever by the Tribe. Now they return home, 11 up in the AL Central with a chance to continue this magical run next on Sports Time Ohio. Tonight's matchup between the Cleveland Indians and the Baltimore Orioles is presented by Hankook Tires. Back home where they belong. Do you realize, folks, this is only the 8th game out of their last 30 that the Indians have played here at Progressive Field. But boy, oh boy, are they excited to be back home. They bring with them a new franchise record 15-game winning streak. The key, as my partner pointed out last night in Chicago, over the first 3 innings during the streak, they have wiped out the opposition, outscoring them 53-11. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. When we went to the West Coast out of the All-Star break, the Tribe lost 5 out of 6. They limped home with just a half-game lead in the AL Central. Since then, they're a Major League best, 36-11. And some of that sort of coincides with Francisco Lindor's ascension to the top of the order. They've been looking for a leadoff man all season long, and he's done a terrific job.
Well, it shouldn't surprise us because he brings a lot of energy to the top part of that lineup. Last night he led off with a triple. On his second at-bat, he hit a home run, so he was halfway to the cycle in 2 innings. But he continues to get on base. He continues to make things happen. He got a base hit later on. He fell a double short of the cycle, but the Indians didn't fall short of keeping that winning streak rolling. They've been playing solid baseball, and Lindor, you can see he's the club leader for shortstops in home runs now, and it's the most since Jimmy Rollins had 30. And during the winning streak, 6 homers, 12 RBIs. I mean, it's just everything. There's so many good things going on during the course of the streak. It's hard to highlight one because the pitching's great. Everything is going together. It's just really a treat to watch.
You hit the nail on the head. We highlight Francisco Lindor, but we could highlight just about every guy in his roster because they've all contributed in meaningful ways. Well, we'll be back with tonight's first pitch between Cleveland and Baltimore. Plus, Al and Jensen have the showstopper as they focus in on the Dodgers' current spiral in the NL West. And Andre Knott will talk with tonight's starting pitcher, Mike Clevenger, straight ahead. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by Nature Stone, the only concrete solution.
Tonight to take on the Baltimore Orioles, looking for their 16th straight win overall. And we welcome you back to center field along with Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski, the Tribe tonight trying to get it done against Baltimore for 16 in a row. But our showstopper tonight comes from the National League and Nolan Arenado and what he did against Clayton Kershaw last night. A 3-run homer off of him in the first inning. He's got 31 homers now in the season.
And he has owned Kershaw in his career. As you can see, a .319 career average. Why was this game significant, Al? Well, no team that has gone 1-13 at any stretch in a regular season has gone on to win the World Series. The Dodgers tonight entering are 1-12. They lose tonight, they will be at that dubious 1-13 mark.
All right, we'll see what happens right here at Progressive Field. Indians and Orioles coming up. Matt Underwood and Rick Manning have the call. And fellas, welcome home. Nice to see you here in Cleveland.
Boy, it seems like it's been a long time since the Indians have been home for any kind of extended period, and this will be a nice 3-team homestand. The Indians will get 10 games here in front of the home crowd, and it begins with a matchup against the Baltimore Orioles, who are still trying to scratch and claw their way to a wild card berth in the American League. As for the Indians, well, it's a club that's playing well in all phases right now, and I don't think you can really say one group has been any better than the others, but it all starts, as we like to say in baseball, with the starting pitching. It's been outstanding, and Mike Clevenger in particular continues to get better and better and better. With more on that, here's Andre Knott.
Well, Matt, that's exactly what has happened. When you talk about Trevor Bauer, and now you look at Mike Clevenger, both of these guys in the second half have been a big piece to the Indians playing and pitching better. And for Clev, he's bounced back from the bullpen to the starting rotation in the last 2 years. So I asked him, what has he learned and what has it made him better in 2017 in our Here Right Sounds of the Game?
Kind of learned to get out of my own head. You know what I mean, through kind of the rough process of finding out the hard way of having those outings where it was a lot of balls, a lot of walks, or like I come in, I'm, either asking TB about something about mechanics, or I'm asking Kluber if I'm using my slider too much, and then usually the universal response is, your stuff's there, just let it play, and that's kind of what I think I grew from.
It's a matter of trusting your stuff. How many times have we heard that with pitchers here at the big league level? And when you're, you're a young guy, I think he's finally believing that he belongs at the major league level. He's realizing he has to attack the strike zone. And once he does that and he gets ahead of the hitters, he's going to see that he can put hitters away much easier than he thought he could. Let's take a look at the Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher, Mike Clevenger. He's been great. In his last 4 games, he's 3-0 with a 1.54 ERA. He's given up a 181 batting average. He has walked only 8. He has struck out 28. A couple of games there, Detroit and Kansas City, his last 2, he has not allowed a run in his 12 innings of work, so he has been very good.
Buck Showalter's starting lineup for the Orioles tonight, brought to you by Hankook Tires. Tim Beckham will be the leadoff man. He's at shortstop. Manny Machado batting second. Jonathan Scope hits third. Adam Jones will hit cleanup. Trey Mancini having a fine year. Bats fifth. Then it's Chris Davis, followed by Mark Trumbo, Seth Smith, and Caleb Joseph batting ninth.
And the Indians defense brought to you by Ram. They're rated second in the league. It'll be Geyer in left, Jackson in center, Bruce over in right. Diaz back in that lineup at third. Lindor's at short. Gonzalez is at second. Santana at first, and Perez doing the catching.
Dana DeMuth has the plate tonight. Paul Nart is at first base. John Libka at second, and Chris Guccione is down at third. Tim Beckham has been a big pickup for the Baltimore Orioles. They picked him up on August 31st, or on August 1st, and in 35 games since, he's batted .359, 10 doubles, couple of triples, 7 homers, and 20 runs batted in.
Yeah, he's made a nice adjustment coming over to Baltimore. That was a spark for him getting out of Tampa. It's been outstanding for him.
.64 degrees, our game time temperature here tonight. Light breeze blowing in from center. And Mike Clevenger winds it up. We're underway. A fastball misses inside, ball 1.
Clevenger's done a beautiful job this year against right-handed hitters. Just a 179 batting average against.
Fastball hit to right. Back goes Jay Bruce, and he makes the catch right up against the fence in deep right field. He did a pirouette out there and still held on to make the play.
Yeah, I don't know if that wind maybe held this ball in. I thought he had a chance to get it out here. He hit it well. Now watch Bruce go back, starts backpedaling, and one step in front of the wall will make the catch and put it away. But that ball looks like it was doing something, had a little tail to it, so I don't know if the wind up there is doing anything. I look at the flags above the scoreboard. Doesn't look like much.
I think maybe if anything that ball just carried more than Jay Bruce realized it was going to. But he never panicked, stayed right with it. Manny Machado. Storylines are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. For Mike Clevenger, back-to-back scoreless starts. And Manny Machado, look out, he has made a living this year beating up on the AL Central. Just missed.
Pretty good pitch right there. Clevenger made one start against Baltimore. It came on June 22nd as we look at this pitch on our Nissan pitch tracker. And in that game, he really fought himself in the first couple innings, if you remember.
Oh, swing and a miss and a full count.
And the long backswing, he let go of that bat. He was trying to hit one out. It caught Perez in the back of the helmet. You could hear it. Watch him let go. Holds on to the bat with his left arm, and then boom, smoke Perez.
That couldn't have felt real good.
No, not at all. Umpire gave him a little time, and Perez says, "That's okay, I'm ready to go."
Good fastball, and that's hit pretty well to center, but backpedaling and making the catch is Austin Jackson. 2 down. So Mike Clevenger has made consecutive scoreless starts, and according to our friends at Stats Inc., if you go back to May 7th, since that time Clevenger has made 7 starts in which he has not allowed an earned run, and that's tied for the most in the majors over that time period.
Well, he's only given up 77 hits in his 101 innings. I mean, he doesn't give up many hits. He had a string going on earlier in the year where it was 3 hits or less, or 4 hits and less. He was the only thing that got him in trouble is his command, and maybe, you know, trying to be a little bit too fine. I think he's starting to realize that the more aggressive he is, the better off he'll be. It's a matter of locating.
Smash to third, and Yandy Diaz will throw him out. Baltimore goes 1-2-3. The Indians are coming to bat.
First, and now it's time for Wade Miley to take the mound, and he will be our Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher for Baltimore. He's 30-year-old left-hander, and for Miley on the year, 8-11, a 40.91 ERA, 143, and he's given up 151 hits, but he leads the league in walks, 81. So a lot of base runners. They have to be patient with him tonight.
And the Indians starting lineup brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Francisco Lindor in the leadoff spot. Austin Jackson, then Yandy Diaz, Edwin Encarnacion, Jay Bruce, Carlos Santana, Geyer, Perez, Gonzalez rounded out. Nice to see Jay Bruce's name back in that starting lineup.
Who's he at? Andres
Hey
Mike?
guys, I told you coming back. Now batting Francisco Lindor. Bottom of the first. No out. 1 ball, no strike. 2 ball.
He can't hear us though, can he?
65 degrees.
Just tell him to just go ahead, take it away then.
Right, strike. 2-1. Buddy Myers in third base, Sandy Alomar in first base. Oh, 3-1. It's kind of a little bit out of the sun. That's a good sign.
You can't chew gum and broadcast.
Right now. No. What? Not a boy. Man on first. No out. Austin Jackson next.
Take a look at the Baltimore defense for you, brought to you by W.B. Mason. It'll be Mancini in left, Jones in center, Smith over in right. Machado at third, Beckham at short, Scope is at second, Davis at first, and Joseph doing the catching. He was a late addition. Castillo was supposed to be behind the plate tonight, but he was scratched.
Not literally, but figuratively. Austin Jackson with Lindor at first, takes a fastball for a strike.
Well, you have to make Miley get in the strike zone. He leads the majors in pitches thrown per inning at over 19. And he averages over 4 pitches per batter.
Double play ball to second, and it's kicked by Scope. They get the force on Lindor for the first out of the inning.
Well, they just cost themselves an out. That could have been an easy double play ball. Had Scope fielded it cleanly. But once he booted it, they were not going to turn it. Diaz gets down. It's no harm. They do get an out. Baltimore, they are rated 5th in the league in fielding percentage. They have made 78 errors.
Yandy Diaz takes, and that's a called strike. Diaz shoots it foul right side, out of play. Yandy on that incredible road trip for the Indians was 8 for 27 at the plate. He scored 5 runs. He also drove in 5 runs.
That showed a lot of patience.
Yeah, 11 walks, and now he's got a base hit to right field. Stopping at second base is Austin Jackson. Good strong arm out there by Seth Smith.
He just put a swing on that ball and hit it like a left-hander would pull a ball. I mean, stayed on top of that baseball.
Great clip of the game from last night. Edwin Encarnacion mashing his 33rd home run of the season, staking the Tribe to an early 4-0 lead. One they would not relinquish. And a strike called. Edwin, in addition to the 33 homers, 85 runs batted in. And like Diaz, he took his walks. He walked 9 times on the road trip, scoring 10 runs. He blasts one to deep center field. Back is Adam Jones. He's out of room. It's out of here. into the second level of trees in center field. And once again, the Indians score first 16 in a row in which they have scored the first runs of the game. It's 2-0 Cleveland. I bet that 3-0 in Cleveland.
Well, that's the second straight day he has hit a 3-run homer in the first inning. Yesterday in Chicago and now back home in Cleveland. Nice to get back, and that got up over the trees in straightaway center. We'll make this our Yellowwood bringing the lumber, and he knew it as soon as it left the bat. It was just a matter how far it was going to go. For Edwin, his 34th homer, and give him 88 RBI on the year.
Jay Bruce. Fouling it straight back.
That's the 21st home run allowed by Miley. You talk about ambush. He came in and could have had a double play ball in that first inning, and then the base hit and a 3-run homer.
Shoots it foul the other way. Jay Bruce missed 6 straight games with a neck problem. Just woke up on that road trip, came to Detroit to the ballpark one day, and it was all crinkled up, and it just took a little time to respond. Second out of the inning as Wade Miley gets the strikeout. And it will bring up Carlos Santana. And a strike called to Carlos. Santana had a very productive road trip. 15 hits, including 3 home runs. And he walked 7 times. Drove in 7 runs. Base is empty, 2 down here in the first. Indians on top 3-0. And it's 2-1 now for Carlos.
Carlos has really been swinging it well since the All-Star break from both sides of the plate. Really likes hitting on the road. Has done a remarkable job out.
And he draws another walk.
Well, second walk in the first inning. That gives him 83 now on the season. And as I said, that leads the league. So you have to be patient and do not help Wade Miley out.
This has been the MO of the club, though. Get him down early, add on, and just let that pitching staff do their thing. These guys have been throwing the ball so well, from starters to relievers.
It really has. It's been a common theme like this every single day. And you know what, when you were talking about these guys had a good road trip or they're taking their walks, that's what they're doing. They're letting everybody, okay, let the next guy do it. They're not trying to get greedy. That's why they're hitting with runners in scoring position. They're hitting for a high average as a team throughout this streak.
Batting .322 as a team in the 15-game win streak.
And the starters have an ERA of under 2. And the rotation has 13 wins out of the 15-game winning streak. And there's the guy that got the win last night. You get the win number 15. Carrasco has 14.
So by my count, they're averaging more than 7 runs a game, and they're giving up less than 2.
Well, now it was 53-11 in the first 3 innings, so attack another 3 on, so it's 56. They just keep adding to the offensive, numbers early in the game to really jump ahead.
Good take by Geyer, and it's a full count. And they're making another starting pitcher have to really grind his way through the opening frame. 26 pitches, 12 balls, 14 strikes for Miley. Geyer, the 7th man to bat in the inning. Santana takes off. Geyer strikes out. The inning is over, but not before Edwin Encarnacion goes deep once again. Second straight game with a 3-run homer in the first.
Is your #1 mobile app for live Indians baseball. You can stay connected with fully customizable experience. Get home screen icons and app features, as well as game day live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, and more. Download MLB.com @PAT today.
Here in the second inning, Adam Jones, Trey Mancini, and Chris Davis for Baltimore. Jones fouls one off of his foot.
In the last 3 or 4 times that we've had a chance to play Baltimore, we've seen Adam Jones lead off. We've seen him hit 3rd. He's hitting 4th today. He's moved around that lineup. Pretty much a guy that can hit anywhere.
A little high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he can play some killer defense in center field.
Well, I mean, he's just having another Adam Jones type of year. 26 homers, 68 RBIs. I tell you, good pitches low. They're not calling anything low. Maybe just a little bit.
Wow,
that's a tough pitch. I think if I'm pitching, I would like that pitch called.
Dana DeMuth, the crew chief, behind the plate tonight. We'll see if that's a pitch. If Clevenger consistently hits in that target, if maybe he'll eventually start to get that call, or if that's just going to be a ball all night.
Well, so far it's been a ball right there at about the knees.
Lays off, full count. 3-0 Cleveland. We're in the second inning. Mike Clevenger worked a 1-2-3 first inning. Jones pops one foul down the right side and into the seats it goes. We'll try again at 3-2.
This is a Baltimore team, though. They're never out of a ball game. They can score. They score 47% of their runs on the long ball. When you think about it, they played 74 home games, Matt. They've hit 130 homers in that ballpark. That's a bandbox.
Oh, man, yeah. Another foul ball by Jones. I mean, that's not anything new. We've known that for a long time.
No, I understand it, but when you look at the numbers, they only have 7 games left at home this year. We have 7 road, so they're going to be out there. That's going to be a really tough battle for Baltimore. They played 66 games away from home. They homered 86 times. So 34 more
at home.
Exactly.
3-2. Man, oh man. That's a squeeze job right there.
There's the fastball. That was down maybe a little bit more than the other one. That one was, I can see, being low. But if you're a hitter, you got to make the pitcher get the ball up.
Trey Mancini, the left fielder for Baltimore, having a great year. He's hit .290, 23 homers, 73 runs batted in. And he fouls one straight back.
Yeah, this is a Baltimore team. They have to score with you. And I'm sure they're used to being down in games early. Their team ERA is 4.84.
Double play ball to third. Diaz goes to Gonzalez. On to Santana. They go around the horn and quickly erase that leadoff walk. Down to Andre.
Sorry about that. Well, guys, talking to Roberto Perez, though, before the game about catching Mike Clevenger, he's been told he's going to catch him the rest of the season. But he says, much like Trevor Bauer, they both have the stuff that's good enough, but he's got to stay in the middle of the plate to get them to throw strikes. So that's why he's setting up in the middle early with them. Then once they get into a rhythm, he'll move around for them.
Sure. You got to give them that one basic. I mean, their pitches move a lot. So there's no sense sitting on the edge and maybe the ball ending up away. Look at that, target is right down the middle and just let it go where it may. Nothing wrong with that.
Chris Davis, 23 dingers, 55 runs batted in.
Well, he's giving that target high because Davis is a good low ball hitter and he can hit it. He can golf it out of any part of the ballpark. So he's trying to elevate it. But he's missed with 3 straight.
Davis has struck out 166 times on the year. Takes a fastball right down the heart of the plate. This is a Baltimore club that strikes out a lot. I mean, Tim Beckham has punched out 142 times, and that's just, I mean, that's his season totals. Davis draws a walk. Second walk of the inning. And this is what Terry Francona talked about before the game when I asked him what has enabled Mike Clevenger to pitch better and look like he's getting stronger late in the season. And he said when he's attacking the zone, he's as good as there is. But he said his only hurdle left is he gets to try and be a little too fine at times. And he said if he can stay away from that, he'll be fine.
Especially when you put 3 on the board, you want to come out and have a shutdown inning. Well, he got his double play ball. You just come back, get this out, you're just fine. So I mentioned to you, Clevenger against right-handed hitters, awesome. Just a 179 batting average on the year, and this is predominantly a right-handed lineup.
In the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Matter of fact, over his last 6 outings, right-handers are hitting just .094 against him coming into today's game.
Swung on and missed, and it's 1-2.
Second slider in this at bat. Trumbo comes up empty.
And the 1-2. Chopped to first. Santana will take it himself. And Mike Clevenger works around a pair of walks. And the Indians maintain a 3-0 lead. On a 3-run homer by Edwin Encarnacion in the first inning.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Matt.
The Indians back home after another long road trip. 22 of the last 29 have been played away from Progressive Field. But the next 10 right here in Cleveland. The question on a lot of Indians fans' mind right now is, can the team clinch the Central Division before they head out on their final road trip of the season? It is possible, but they're going to have to stay locked in and stay hot. Get a little help from the second place Twins. Swing and a miss by Roberto. 2-1 to count. Perez had a very good road trip. He was 7 out of 21. Homer, 7 runs driven in. He also had 3 doubles. He was riding a 9-game hitting streak at one point.
Well, he's been clutch. He's been getting the big hit. The RBI hits when needed, as the bottom part of this lineup has been doing a lot throughout the course of this streak.
Well, we had that stat too. The combination of Perez and Gomes, what they've done combined out of the catching spot, has been very good. Now the payoff pitch. Popped him up right there in front of home plate. Caleb Joseph ditches the mask. 1 away.
Well, we'd like to send a special message out to Susan Snyder. Susan, we know you're watching and we're thinking of you. And on behalf of the Dolan family, the Indians organization, and all of us here at Sports Time Ohio, thank you for making us a part of your day.
Eric Gonzalez will step in with one down here in the bottom of the second, batting ninth, and he takes a strike. Eric was 6 out of 14 on the last road trip.
About his night yesterday.
Oh.
He had 2 homers.
4 steaks, couple of homers.
Yeah. Really nice night. Turning some double plays out there at second.
Fouls the curveball off.
I got a kick out of the first one he hit last night. After he hit the ball, he put the right arm or the left arm out like he was.
Bounced in front of the plate.
I'm really thinking if you just take up this guy, you got a good chance of standing where you're at right now, 2-2. Because he throws a ton of pitches. He could be a tough guy to play defense behind.
High curveball, and that's fouled off.
Miley, a guy that came from Seattle to Baltimore for Ariel Miranda. That was last July 31st.
Now the 2-2, and that's in off the plate. Full count. The Indians, owners of an incredible 48-27 record on the road this year. Gonzalez works a walk. 36-29 here at Progressive Field. And hoping to take advantage of the way they've been playing of late and apply that right here in their home park. Took a while this year to get any traction at home for whatever reason. And they're only theories, and everybody's got a different one, but that guy right there didn't waste a whole lot of time thinking about it and trying to figure it out. It just sometimes you play well at home, you don't play well on the road, and sometimes it's vice versa.
Well, the good thing that helped was that they were playing pretty well on the road for the most part all year, and that takes a little pressure off you. You're not playing well at home, and you try and finish at 500 or play 500 on the road. The Indians are just unbelievable on the road. They're 21 games over. They're 48-27.
Just a bit outside with a fastball. This is one of those odd stats that kind of makes you shake your head, but this is the 8th straight game in which Francisco Lindor has batted in each of the first 2 innings. His double play ends the second frame with the Tribe on top, 3-0. Lead the Orioles 3-0 headed to the third inning. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning, Andre Knott, joined now by one of the most intimidating pitchers to ever wear the Indians uniform.
Oh, easy.
Mike Jackson. This guy came out of the bullpen.
That introduction.
Hey, when he came out of the bullpen,
like a boxer.
At the end, it was over. It was game over. Forget about it. Whether it was the 8th inning or the 9th inning when you were a closer, it didn't matter. You had a way, though. You did have a presence. And I think there is something to be said for that. When you stepped on the mound, you wanted the hitter to know this isn't going to be easy. You had the hat pulled down over your eyes.
I had my hat down low and didn't want them to see my eyes, but I want them to know there was going to be a bumpy ride. They need a seatbelt. They need to buckle up. It was going to be a rough ride.
Is that one of the things, Mike, when we talk to former players, I know you miss the guys, you miss your teammates, you miss that clubhouse chemistry, that camaraderie, but is it those battles, that moment of truth? Is that what you miss the most about the game?
It's the competition.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all competitors and we want to compete. And that's one of the things that you really miss, because there's nothing like going out there facing that batter and being at your best and he's at his best and competing.
And he's no different than when he's managing at fantasy camp, because he still wants to win. I was his partner one time. We got to the finals, and he's still, I mean, this guy's intense, an intense guy.
I mean, that's the only competition I can do now, so I have to enjoy it whenever I can get it.
But the competition is still in you. It burns, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's a fire that won't ever go out. You know, if you're a competitor, it's going to stay in you to the day you die.
Seth Smith strikes out Mike Clevenger's first K here this evening, and it brings up Caleb Joseph. Houston, very near and dear to your heart. How's things going down there after that horrible hurricane?
That's my hometown. It was rough going for a minute. We had all that rain from Harvey. It's a lot of people that are devastated from that. But you know what? We'll get over it as a city. We will bounce back, but you know, I was blessed and thankful that I didn't have any flooding in my area, but there's a whole bunch of other areas that in Houston that are just devastated.
I don't know if you know Jay Bruce or not. He's from Beaumont, and he and his wife have they've pledged $100,000 of their own money, and fans and people all over the country have donated over $200,000. So they've raised over $300,000 with the help of he and his wife, matching some of those funds. And it's a region that's going to need a long time to recover, isn't it, Mike?
It's going to take a long time. If you actually get a chance to come there and see the devastation, man, it's amazing. But any little thing helped to get these people back on their feet and in some type of home or shelter or whatever. But you know, it was something that the people in Florida about to go through now. I mean, hopefully they won't have to experience that, but I mean, it's that time of year where we're in that Hurricane Alley. I mean, until October.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to be on alert.
There is a chance we will be down there. You know, maybe in October.
Yeah.
Having to play the Astros, so we'll see.
But hopefully, you know, we get through this hurricane season. It's normally over in October, so we can get through it without any more damage.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Mike Clevenger. Good spot right here. Take another look as he locks up Caleb Smith. Good fastball.
I love that movement.
Yeah. Caleb says, I wasn't even supposed to play tonight, man. They put me in late. He was not. Supposed to be Castillo in there.
These guys have been playing some outstanding baseball.
Have you been able to follow them?
I've been watching a little bit whenever I can. But, man, it's amazing. I told everybody back at home that it's going to be a repeat of the World Series, Cleveland and Chicago. We're going with Cleveland as winner.
All right.
Well, you know, 15 games. What's the best team you ever played on, and how many the most you ever won with a ball club? Do you remember?
The best team?
I mean, not the best team, but I'm saying the most games you've ever been on a team with consecutively. Because the Indians just
said Cleveland.
Okay, it was here.
Yeah, I mean, the most wins I've been on was San Francisco. We won 103 games and didn't make the playoffs.
Right. I remember that year.
Didn't make the playoffs.
I do remember that year, by the way.
The Braves beat us by one game.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, those Braves cost me a lot of championships, or at least playoff berths.
The Dodgers did you guys in at the end of that year, didn't they?
They did. We went in there tied with the Braves. We had a 4-game series with the Dodgers. They had a 4-game series with the Rockies. it came down. We won our first 3. They won their first 3. It came down to the last day.
Oh,
we
man.
lost. We didn't have that extra starter. We were trying to get Dennis Martinez, and Al Rosen wouldn't pull the button.
Yeah.
He wouldn't pull the plug and get him. We thought we was going to have him. We need that extra starter.
So Dennis was a marked man back then. Let's go. We got to get him over here as we did here in Cleveland.
3-1 pitch. And that's a little low, ball 4. Mike, when you pitched, when you were coming out of the bullpen, were you just fastball slider?
No. As my career continued to progress, I changed. I had to change some things because everything I threw was hard. I didn't have anything against lefties, so I had to learn that changeup. So I was fastball, slider, changeup. And then, of course, as you play this game, you'll learn how to adapt, or you won't be here that long. Have to learn that sinker and all the other stuff.
It's something different, just a different look.
Just to give them something different to think about.
Just to show it to hitters to say, hey, man, I don't know what he's coming. But when you're only going to face a guy one time, not more than that, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. But when you're just a 2-pitch pitcher, and these guys understand, well, I'm going to get one or the other, they're going to sit on one. And
you get it, best one, and it's going to be your slider.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, because, you know, Tito's talked about Mike Clevenger. He said if he can avoid trying to be too fine and make that perfect pitch and just attack the hitters, then he's going to be fine. And I brought that up with you because I was thinking, when you're throwing fastball, slider, and as you worked in your changeup, everything still worked off your fastball, though.
Everything.
Right? Still didn't matter.
Everything come off my fastball. I mean, if I can make my slider look like my fastball, my changeup look like my fastball, then I'm more effective. Because now they share the same arm speed, the same arm slot. But if you can execute those things consistently, then you can be more effective out there on the mound.
Jay Bruce cuts that off in the gap and holds Manny Machado to a single with 2 down here in the 3rd inning. But the Orioles now have runners at the corners with 2 down.
Yeah, but when you're going to face a guy like a Manny Machado, if you can pitch from in front, it helps, because those good hitters are going to get their knocks and you have to go into them. When you're behind in the count, Machado, one of the better hitters in the game.
Yeah, most definitely. I look at it this way: every time you throw a strike, the his chances of getting a base hit decrease, because you can expand the strike zone.
The zone
every
gets
time
bigger.
you throw a ball, it shrinks.
Yeah,
so I got to come more and more over the plate.
That's
so
true.
the chance of him getting a hit is very high.
Yeah. That's a good way, and your good hitters are going to get you. You can get away with it maybe with some guys that are, 240, 250 hitters.
Swing and a miss by Jonathan Scope.
So like you said, these great hitters that they have in the league now, I mean, you behind in them, pitching to them, it's very tough to get them out.
I'm sure there were a few occasions, though, where you threw a pitch and went, oh no, and you somehow he popped it up, he missed it, and you walked on and went, whew.
Well, you're right. I threw quite a few pitches and didn't look back. And somehow I stayed in the ballpark.
Well, that's the one thing pitchers would say to me. He goes, sometimes you get so caught up into making the perfect pitch, it helps just to watch batting practice, see how many times guys don't crush a ball when they're just laying them right in there.
You know what? One day, I forget which team, but we started to throw batting practice, and we're just throwing just BP fastballs, and the guys were just popping them up.
Yeah.
So I tried it in the game one time. I mean, I threw a guy a great fastball, and then I just said, what the heck? The game was in a no-win situation for us, so I just threw a little BP fastball to play. The guy popped him up. Yeah. He popped it up in the air.
Trying to do too much.
Couldn't believe it. Exactly. Sometimes hitters they get themselves out.
Yes, they do. Many times.
I mean, look how many times guys throw batting practice, and these guys get themselves out. They know what's coming, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
How you can just get a guy off with just a regular, just soft toss fastball.
And we see that every once in a while. When we had it the other night in Chicago, they bring a backup catcher in or somebody who's not a pitcher just to do some mop up. And all of a sudden, that guy works a 1-2-3 inning. How did he do that?
Well, see, I never liked that, because that make us look bad.
2-2 to Scope. Swing and a miss. Clevenger strikes him out and strands a pair of birds. Mike Jackson with us tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Have fun
glad
this weekend.
To be here. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, thank you.
wins continue to pile up for the Cleveland Indians. The mini ball team gets bigger and bigger. Right now, I'll just tell you, it's the guy at the plate who is the newest mini ball team member. Yes, the one and only Austin Jackson. Gotta love the beard, guys. Did a great job with that as well. There's also, I don't know if we have a shot of it, there's a sign out in left field that Austin has become a big fan of that basically plays into his name and plays into who he is. Austin is becoming one of the favorites around here at Progressive Field, slowly but surely.
What's the sign?
Well, I don't know if we have a shot of it, and they may have put it down. As soon as we get it, we'll get a shot of it, and there it is right there. Put some respect on my name. And the kid spelled respect right. Trust me.
I got you.
It was a Houston rapper that basically said that, and the kid's been saying that and tweeting it to Austin and myself. And Austin saw it before the game today and looked at me. He goes, "Man, I got to get a shot of that. I like that."
1-2 pitch. Now, Andre, is the baseball doll, did they purposely gray the beard a little bit there?
Yeah, a little bit. That's not fair, right? There, I'll get it back.
Put some respect on Austin Jackson's name. That's beautiful.
There's a little bit of, we'll just wait till after this pitch.
Swung out and missed. He went down and in to get him.
There is a little gray though on the ball. They're working on another one. There may be another one tonight as well. But there's a little gray. Yeah. They got the smile,
but no hat on that
and
one.
There's no hat. And there's no seams because he's bald up top. See, if you look right in there, there's no seams on it. That's the way that if you're bald, that's what you get. You get no seams.
The seams taken out.
So you're seamless. You're seamless.
We give you a lot of seams.
I need seams. You're seamless.
I'm seamless, baby.
Yandy Diaz takes the ball. He singled and scored in the Indians' 3-run first.
Yeah, hit a really nice line drive to right field. Almost like a left-handed hitter. When he gets on top of it, boy, he drives it that way very well.
To short, big hop there. Beckham throws out Diaz, and there are 2 down. Kia in the driver's seat since August 1. Manny Machado, Josh Donaldson, and right there is Edwin Encarnacion for the most home runs in the American League.
Well, 3 big bombers right there.
Yeah.
And you know, Dozier again, a second half guy. Joey Gallo from Texas. He can hit him as far as anybody. So there's some big names up there.
Fastball strike. Broke his bat. And the third baseman, Machado, throws him out. Indians go in order. And we'll go to the 4th. 3-0 Cleveland. Progressive Field. It's one of those nights. It's cool, it's crisp, kind of reminds you of the Pacific Northwest, doesn't it?
It's football weather, baby.
Now our next guest up here in the booth is Richie Sexson, who makes his home now up in Oregon, and boy, it's great to see you. How you been?
I'm doing well. Yeah, it's nice to get out of the fires. We were burning to death up there.
Yeah, they had a lot of hot temperatures and fires all over the place, so it's a good time to come here.
It is, yeah, and this feels great. It's so much cooler. I love it.
Yeah.
Richie Sexson was originally drafted by the Indians, and you weren't a real high draft pick, if I remember right. Like 20th round, something like that?
Yeah, 24th round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you came into pro ball, did you know right away, hey, I'm going to be in the big leagues? Was it a sure thing for you?
Absolutely not. Nice play.
Nice play by Santana, one away.
Actually, you know, as a 24th round pick, and then you could start your year out, you go to rookie ball and hit 185. You really don't think you actually have a shot at that point.
Yeah, when you signed, though, you were tall, you had to put some weight on, you were thin, you were slender, and I mean, it takes a lot of work to get something, you know, to get a feel for it, doesn't it?
It really does. Yeah, I was fortunate. They gave me a second chance. I thought that was it after the first year, and you know, I had several guys in my corner that, you know, sent me to instruction league, and I started to kind of build from there. So somebody saw something, and thank God they did.
Well, I mean, you show up first day and you're looking around, and there are not a lot of guys here that look like me. I mean, not a lot of 6'6" guys.
Well, you know,
pitchers.
Yeah. Right.
You know, you talk about hitters and big guys, how long it takes to mature. We've got one in Bradley Zimmer in center field now, who's he's 6'5", 6'6", and you know, you got to learn how to hit. That's not an easy thing, is it? Because big guys like to extend their arms.
It's tough, you know, and you know, there's a lot more holes. There's a lot more moving parts. There's a lot of things going on. You know, like the kid from the Yankees, I think I call it. I said, you know, you're gonna.
Go ahead.
No, you're gonna, you know, absolutely. I was thinking he's gonna go through some struggles. You know, he's a big guy, and. You don't ever root for that to happen, but you know, when you're tall, like I said, you're going to have to make adjustments. He's going to have to adjust back, and it's a constant battle when you're this height, for sure.
Well, you're talking about Aaron Judge, who got off to a tremendous start now. You know, 39 home runs, but he took the league by storm in the first half. And you know, pitchers find a way to find that location that you can't hit a baseball, and you know, and then they can pound it and keep coming at you.
Yeah, they got a job to do too, and one of them is to obviously. Try to get us out. And taller guys, we have plenty of spots for that, so it's a constant adjustment.
Did you find it easier to stay off the plate or get on the plate?
Gosh, I had to do it all.
I mean, and changed with the pitcher.
Yeah, I had to guess a little bit. I had to work a little harder. I had to study a little more. I remember, you know, a lot of video. I had to, you know, I couldn't just get in there and hit like naturally. I had to work on a lot of the mental stuff, patterns. If pitchers fell into patterns. Things like that. So, I mean, of course I wanted it away. Obviously, that was easier for me. Mike Jackson and I were talking about that earlier, you know, and I keep backing off until eventually you give them the outside, you know. So it's constant battle.
Yeah, but one thing you turned into is a very good first baseman defensively. You can pick it, and a lot of work goes in there too, huh? Besides hitting.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you know, I take pride in that. I wanted to be a good defensive player as well. I think it's if you have a bat at bat, it's nice to go out there and make a nice play for your guys.
Yeah. When you came up to the big leagues with this ball club, this was already a pretty good veteran established team with a lot of great hitters. Was it easy to fit in, or did that make it sort of an intimidating and harder to fit in?
Oh, it was extremely hard to break that lineup. You know, you're sitting in AAA and you're sitting there for a couple of years.
And they had a number of good guys like Giles and Branyan, a lot of guys down there.
Yeah, we had a heck of a total organization back then. I mean, I think every one of our minor league teams were winning championships. The big league clubs going to the World Series. It was, you know, selling out every night. It was a fun time to be a Cleveland Indian. And, you know, when I got here, Jim told me and a few of the guys made my transition a lot easier, you know, and it's tough to come to a superstar type team like that and, you know, and just fit in. And those guys made it easy on me when I got here.
So this kind of comes full circle right here. Archie was traded to Milwaukee for
Gorman Thomas.
Richie, first year with the Brewers. I think you tied Gorman's record.
I did.
For home runs.
Yeah.
Like 45 home runs.
That's true.
You should have broke it, though. That would have made the story better. But
I hit a home run off that dang flagpole in Houston, and they didn't call it a home run. So I'm blaming it on that.
Oh,
I did, Gator. I got
yeah, you had some great years there, and you played in Arizona as well.
Yeah, Arizona. I was having a really solid year. I was having a good month of April that year, and I ended up dislocating my shoulder, which put an end to that.
Yeah.
I was unfortunate I couldn't do better for the Diamondbacks thing. It would have been a good year staying on the field.
Well, speaking of Arizona, Fletch texts me and says, "Tell Richie Sluggo Sex," and I said hello. He's out
Fletch.
there. Yeah, he's out in Arizona.
Love me some Fletch. What's up, Fletch?
2 balls, 2 strikes. They count on Mark Trumbo. Do you still watch a lot of games when you're at home now? I mean, you got little younger kids, so you're probably running around with them.
I do. I still. I mean, you know, there's a lot of SpongeBob going on around the house, but you know, yeah, we try to. I have one of my 11-year-old son really loves baseball, so we've you know, we've turned on baseball when we can, and the kids they're getting into it slowly.
Great catching up with you. Thanks for stopping by. Richie Sexton with us here tonight. It remains 3-0 Cleveland. Tonight, stay tuned for Miller time coming up later in the game.
That was nice to see Richie.
Yes.
Tell you what, he looks a little bit like Murph, doesn't he?
You know, I always found it odd when people say, "Hey, don't I look like so-and-so?" If you have to ask somebody, do I look like somebody else? Chances are no. You know, if somebody says to you, "Hey, you look like,"
right,
then you might think, but if you're bringing it up, no.
Okay, what happened to Machado? Got to get a new glove.
He didn't like the one he had. Either that or maybe the string broke.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. In the pocket. There'll be some work going on in that one. That'll be the backup.
Jay Bruce will lead off for the Tribe here in the home half of the 4th. He struck out his only time up. Orioles put a 3-man shift on the right side against him. And Wade Miley with the first pitch strike. Miley had a rough start to this one. 4 batters into the game, it was 3-0 Cleveland thanks to a 3-run homer by Edwin Encarnacion. Since then, he has not allowed a hit. He has walked a couple.
Well, this is the point of the game offensively. This is when you want to try and add on, you know, so you can do a little separation now. And this is where they've been very good at doing things like that. Second time through or the third time through.
Missed outside, full count.
Again, another full count. He's had a few of them today, 5 of them.
Oh, just got under it.
Yes, he did.
And that will be caught for out number 1. Boy, you looked at that swing, you heard that sound, and you thought, oh man, I think he got it.
That probably comes from 5 days, 6 days off.
Just a tad off, huh? T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball break. Longest winning streak since 1961. The Indians, the Mariners, the Braves, the Twins, all at 15 straight. Then you've got the Royals.
77.
And then the Oakland A's back in 02. You know, it's funny. When a team gets on a run like this, it's great fodder for those of us who work in media and in communications. It's, you talk about it on the radio, you talk about it online. Guys who don't talk about it are the guys in the dugout, in the clubhouse. And when I talked to Terry Francona about it today, it made perfect sense to me. That's something you talk about and reflect on when it's all said and done. When you're in the moment, you're just thinking about what's today, who's on the mound, what do we have to do to get a win today. If you start thinking about the streak, then you've lost focus.
Well, you're a baseball player, you know how hard it is to win a game. There's a nice swing. Santana going the other way for a base hit. First hit since the first inning. But you know how tough it is. You can't get caught up into the emotion of, you got to continue to go out there and you don't ask questions. You're on that wave. You just ride it till it's done. Because sooner or later you're going to be going, bucking up against a headwind.
I guess, Arch, it's similar to when a hitter's going well. He doesn't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about it because then you start thinking about it.
Well, the difference nowadays is that at any time you do anything good, it's talked about. And, the more it happens, everybody talks about it. And they want answers. They want to be the first to tell everybody. And that's the toughest thing about it right now, is you can't tune out everybody else. You just can't do it. It used to be easy to do. You can't do it anymore because that's all anybody is talking about. Any streak you get to.
Well, as you guys talk about that, Buck Showalter, the manager of the Baltimore Orioles, talked about the streak before the game. What he marvels at is that the Indians have done this with the players he says he sees that are hurt. He says he couldn't imagine many organizations being able to play like this over this amount of time with guys like Jason Kipnis, Andrew Miller, and Michael Brantley not being able to play. He says it's a testament to Tito Francona. He says also the Indians organization. He says they're a class organization because he's never been around many that could do something like what they've put together.
No, that is remarkable.
And to just follow up on that, Andre, the one thing Tito said, because I asked him something along those same lines, and he said with regards to Urshela, Gonzalez, Yandy Diaz, Ryan Merritt, Tyler Olson, the guys who stepped in and have really filled the shoes of many of the people that have gone down. He said we haven't necessarily asked any of those guys to fill a starring role, but he said they have been able to fill meaningful roles.
Complementary pieces.
Exactly.
Yes. Yep.
Well, I know when Andrew Miller got hurt the second time, he said to me right away, he goes, Andre, we're not built for one guy to lead us. He goes, I know you guys talk like that. He goes, but this is a team in every sense. And 2 minutes later, I walked over to Francisco Lindor's locker, and he looked at me and said the same exact thing. He says, we're not about one guy. He goes, we need him. He goes, but we're going to, take care of each other and stand up for each other and make it work one way or the other, no matter who's here. He said, we learned that last season.
Yeah,
I was going to say, too, with Brantley being out, that's what gave him the edge. Because they weren't expected to do anything because Michael was their best hitter.
That, and look what they did in the postseason with only 2.5 starting pitchers.
Yeah.
That built confidence. I know we don't talk about it a lot, and I know the team doesn't like talking about last year, but that's built a confidence in this team that whoever they put out, whoever Tito puts in that lineup.
Double play ball potentially, and they do turn 2 to end the inning. 4 complete. It remains Cleveland 3, Baltimore 0. best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. Made in Ohio, Ohio proud. Back here at Progressive Field. The Indians scored 3 in the first. Mike Clevinger has made it stand up to this point. Through 4 innings, he's made a lot of pitches. 70, 40, 1 strikes. And he's got Seth Smith, the number 8 hitter, leading off, and breaking ball misses outside.
Well, Clev's only given up a couple of hits.
And a strike called, 2-1 to count. Minnesota, Kansas City underway at Kauffman Stadium. No score in the first. 3 balls and a strike. Full count.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. And that's at the bottom of that part of that zone. It will not get any lower, but he's thrown a couple there tonight that were called balls. That one he gets. So now it's a full count. Got to come back and make another good pitch.
Over the bag and foul. Was a nice play by Santana regardless, but Smith will come back and try again as we take another look. Right down the line, but yeah, just foul right at the bag.
Well, he had it covered. Smith is the guy that he's going to try and pull the ball, no doubt. Santana, he would have smothered it.
Struck him out looking.
Boy, he came back and made a dandy, didn't he?
It's his 5th strikeout now. And he's whiffed Smith twice. Sunshine.
Well, there's the first one on a high fastball, and then he's thrown a couple of nice sliders. And he's locked up a number of them, so that's 5 strikeouts. He has walked 3, given up 2 hits.
To right field, Jay Bruce. 2 away. Quicken Loans, Rocket Arms. The Indians just over 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. Told you before, no team in the AL has done that for an entire season. The Indians are right on the verge, and the Astros aren't far behind.
Well, in the year of the home run and the year of the strikeout, you can see 2 teams with arms. Good arms can get those punch outs.
You saw the nickname on the back of the spikes that Clevenger's wearing. You remember the movie, Remember the Titans?
Yes.
With Denzel Washington. Remember the quarterback that came from California and had the long hair?
Uh-huh.
That's where he picked up that nickname, yeah. The 0-1. Wow.
That was his name on the back of the jersey for the nickname weekend, wasn't it?
Right.
Sunshine. Well, Clevenger now looking.
Swung on and missed. Boy, that was a nice breaking ball. And it's Tim Beckham. What a find for Baltimore to get him from Tampa. He has been
That's really
standing
under the radar trade that they made. There's a good slider that he gets him to swing and miss.
And the 1-2. A little low with a fastball. Oh, yeah. Painted the outside corner. A half dozen Ks for Clevenger. He retires the side in order. We're halfway through, and the Indians are on top 3-0. Night. Well, the Indians are halfway there. They lead it 3-0. Getting ready to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. Roberto Perez, Eric Gonzalez, and Francisco Lindor due up. Roberto popped up right at the plate. His only time up tonight. Out of play.
Send along some birthday wishes tonight. Dino Pavlovic of Parma is 92. Eileen Stutter of Bucyrus is 88. James Love of Brunswick is 80. And Mel McCormick of Warren is 80. Happy birthday to you all.
Slow chopper towards short, cut in front of by Machado. Had a little trouble getting it out of his glove, but throws out Perez, 1 down. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 4th hitter of the game is Edwin Encarnacion with 2 aboard. He tattooed one to deep center field and up near Heritage Park. And that has been it. The Indians have 1 hit in the game since that homer. The Orioles have 2 hits for the game. Mike Clevenger has struck out a half dozen O's. Wade Miley has struck out 3 Cleveland Indians, but he has also walked 3. And Eric Gonzalez is called out on strikes. 2 down.
Well, he ran one inside and then backed Gonzalez off. But take a look at that pitch. Looked like it might have been a little in off the plate, but gets the call. His 4th strikeout in the 2nd out of the inning.
Top of the order, Francisco Lindor. Walked in the first, grounded into a double play in the second. The Indians have outscored their opponents 56-11 in the first 3 innings in this 15-game win streak, and including tonight. And also, for the 8th straight game, Francisco Lindor has batted in each of the first 2 innings. So that tells you the offense is getting out and doing some damage early in games.
Well, I know it just seemed like this, but I know it happened a lot when we were on the road. It seemed like they had at least 2 on the board in the first, if not 4. I know we did it twice.
Well, I think it was 3 times on their road, because you said it happened in both the Kluber starts.
Yes, it did. In Detroit and then one in Chicago.
Oh, no, it wasn't 4. It was just the 3 runs in Chicago the one game.
Yeah.
And then the White Sox came back with 4 in the bottom of the first. Yeah.
And then there was a couple of 2s.
There's a long drive deep left field. It is off the wall. Played nicely by Mancini. Throw to second, and Lindor is safe.
Boy, that umpire had a really good look at it. I mean to tell you, he waited a while for that call. And Mancini did a beautiful job playing that ball off the wall. It came right back to him, and Frankie did a nice job of hitting that breaking ball. And watch, gets it on the glove and fires his seat. Now watch the umpire get in here. Stick his nose right in and watch. He was watching to make sure Lindor kept his foot on the base where the tag was. The tag came up on the backside of his thigh, and he got the foot in there. So really nice job all the way around.
Just now realizing how big Jonathan Scope is.
Oh, he's huge. No doubt. He's huge.
35 doubles now for Frankie. He's in scoring position. Austin Jackson takes a strike. Bounced in there. I don't know, Archie. They list Scope at 6'1", but I'm around Frankie almost every day down there at clubhouse. It looked like he was towering over Lindor, and it's not like Frankie's 5'11", almost 6 feet tall, but it doesn't look like it compared to Scope.
Yeah, Scope's a big guy.
The 1-1.
I want to see now that they unveiled the Austin Jackson ball. Good things usually happen when they unveil a ball off a guy, don't they?
Yeah.
Something good or positive happens usually.
Now ball towards short. And Beckham throws him out. 5 complete. It remains Cleveland 3, Baltimore 0.
talking about how well players play after their new mini baseball comes out. Arch, you know who this is?
Let me see.
This guy's done really well.
Oh,
in a short amount of
left-hander.
time.
Yeah, left-hander.
From different places. Tyler Olson.
Olson, right.
Yeah, Olson's gotten his ball pretty quick. It's pretty good. Trevor told me he throws it from different arm slots, so that was the way that they made Tyler Olson. They're pumping him out, man. He said they keep winning. They'll keep bringing the balls out for us as they go along.
Only the octopus.
I don't know if he knows that that's what he is, but we're going to tell him.
Well, that's pretty good. Manny Machado, Jonathan Scope, Adam Jones here in the 6th inning for Baltimore. Mike Clevenger.
It's going to be a big part of the lineup going through the 3rd time now for Clev.
Bounced it in there. Swing and a miss. Two and two. Machado single toward right field. Back in the 3rd inning. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out. That's 7 Ks now for Clevenger. And it looked like Machado was going to wait him out. He was being very patient. But the patience wore thin, and he chases one.
Well, what he does, he throws him a changeup here on the 3-2. I was expecting maybe he'd throw him a slider, but you could see the grip of the baseball. It was located beautifully down and away. And he gets the swing by Machado, who thought it was going to be a fastball, but never got there. 4 of his 7 strikeouts have been called.
Foul right back. Jonathan Scope grounded to 3rd in the 1st inning, and he struck out swinging to end the 3rd, with Orioles at 1st and 3rd base.
Well, in Clev's last start against Baltimore coming June 22nd, he went 5 innings and had allowed 6 hits and just the 2 runs, but he did walk 4 and he had 4 strikeouts. So today, much better game, allowing just the 2 hits, 3 walks, but he has 7 strikeouts and has not allowed a run.
Oh, Roberto Perez was ready to throw that one to 3rd. Dana DeMuth,
he's flinched.
Been very inconsistent.
Okay, well, he's called that balls before. You know, he did. He looked the other way,
but he also called it a strike.
Yeah.
Beats it into the ground. Yandy Diaz slings it over. 2 down. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Last year's 14-game win streak up against this year's 15-game win streak. Look at the runs allowed, almost identical.
Yeah.
But offensively, they've scored much more.
Well, better batting average, ERAs. Boy, that's remarkable. But to have something like that in back-to-back years, I mean, they set the record last year, and to follow it up again this year, and you're one better. It's really hard to believe. Those things, they just don't happen very often.
Broken back, Bloop, and no. Jackson gave it all his effort. Just
he couldn't get in there.
Oh,
a little too
wasn't
deep.
going anywhere.
You're playing Adam Jones deep or deeper, and he just hit it off the end of the bat. One of those where you take the swing, it goes off the end of the bat, and it's going to. You can see where he's playing right now, and he had a good jump on the ball. Nothing else he could do. It falls for a base hit. Mickey Callaway going to take a little stroll to the mound. Just wants to make sure with this guy at the plate it could be very dangerous.
Yeah, and it's going to give the bullpen time to get ready. Clevenger almost at that 100 pitch mark here this evening. If you didn't have a chance to hear Andre's conversation with Mike Clevenger, I thought it was interesting, and Clevenger saying that one of the things that has helped he and so many of the other young players that have been called up and pressed into action to be successful is that they feel like they're prepared for this. He said, you know, when you're at any level of the minor leagues in the Indians organization, you're preparing to win, so that when you get here, it's not, hey, look at me, I'm here. It's, hey, what can I do to help this team win the game?
You do whatever you can is right.
Well, basically, he says they teach you how to win. They're not teaching you just how to get to the big leagues. You're getting taught how to win and help the club when you get here, not just be a big leaguer.
Trey Mancini pitches down low, 1 ball, no strikes.
Clevenger now 18 out of 23 first pitch strikes today. 7-0, 2-1-2 counts.
In the air, foul, and out of play. And Andre, I think to follow up on that, it's not just what they're teaching them in the minor leagues, but there's something about the culture they've created in the big league clubhouse that enables these young guys to walk in without a shred of experience and feel like they belong.
Right. And the one thing Tito says is the veterans will respect you if you show up on time and you show the guys that the game matters to you as much as it matters to them. He says, and these guys come in here, they come in time, they know their place, and when their number's called, they're ready. He told a story about Francisco Mejia, that in this week that he's been with the team, whenever the team is at bat, Mejia has his batting gloves on and he's holding the bat and he just stands next to Tito, basically begging like a little kid, like, if you need me,
I love it.
I'm here.
1-2 pitch.
That's going to stay in play.
Right side of the infield. Eric Gonzalez makes the catch. And another good inning of work. 6 shutout frames for Mike Clevenger. 3-0 Cleveland.
Tickets now to unlock access to all of this year's postseason games. That includes the World Series. You don't want to get shut out. Visit Indians.com/season tickets.
Yandy Diaz leading off takes a strike from Wade Miley. Diaz singled in the first inning, grounded out his last time up. 4 batters into the game, it looked like this had the chance to be another rout. But since then, Wade Miley has allowed just 2 hits. He's kept Baltimore alive in this game. To third, and it's down the line. Yandy Diaz turned on a pitch and totally crossed up the Baltimore defense. And he'll go in standing with a leadoff double. They were not expecting him to turn and pull that ball. And once he did, it was clear sailing all the way down into the left field corner.
Well, let's take a look at the pitch and see if it's way inside. He didn't get it in enough, and he got enough of the ball. You can see they're way off the line at third base. So I don't think the pitch was executed enough to get it in there. But he's able to pull it. A leadoff double for Yandy, his second hit of the night.
Well, the other thing I wonder is they might not have even meaning Miley, might not have even expected him to swing at that pitch, because we've seen him take that ball in.
He has a lot. That one just didn't get in enough. It's not that he hit it all that hard. He put it in the right spot.
Edwin's 3-run homer in the first, the only runs of the game.
How about that? He gets him over. That is a productive out. Now it's up to Jay Bruce to see if he can get him in. Take a look at this pitch here to Diaz, where he gets it. It was close to being on the inside part. It may have been a ball with on the plate. But Yandy got it and hit it down the line for a double. And that's a big run out there for the Indians. Baltimore knows that, so that infield is playing tight. And with Beckham over on the second base side, so 3 over on the right side here.
Jay Bruce 0 for 2. Takes a little low.
He needs that same pitch he hit last at bat to right field, where he just missed it, got underneath it. It would be a sac fly. Now Beckham going to go over back to the shortstop side.
Deep right field, but foul. Just out in front of him. He absolutely mashed it.
Hit that one down into the corner. Well, he was looking for a pitch to his liking, and he got one. Just a little bit out in front.
Down and in. 3-1.
Good patience here by Bruce. He'll be looking for another pitch he can elevate and hit in the air.
Chop to first, off the glove, bare hand grab, and because of the hesitation, Diaz does not score. If he's going on contact right there,
yeah,
he scores easily.
I didn't see him with the crack of the bat. I figure he wasn't going on contact. Let's see. He froze. If he was, that would have been the pitch to go. Really a heads-up play by Jonathan Scope, where he was over there and he bails Davis out as he's trying to field that ball, and he barehands it. And his first look was to third base. So really a heads-up play there.
Do you score that 3-4-3?
Why wouldn't you? It's up to Santana now to see if he can get a 2-out base hit and pick up his teammate.
Santana, right field, dropping near the line. It is a fair ball in the corner. Scoring is Yandy Diaz, and into second base with a double is Carlos Santana, and a 4-0 Indians lead on an absolutely clutch 2-out RBI double right down the chalk.
Well, you never see Santana hit it that way from the right side, but this ball just, it was like in slow motion, and it ended up staying fair. I mean, it was tough from our vantage point to see where it was, but it was really a good pitch by Miley. Santana stayed on it, and that ball just on the chalk.
Yeah.
That dusted up some chalk. It sure did. And that's going to, on the outside part of that line, too. That's going to do it for Wade Miley. So the double gets him out of the game, and they've been able to put 4 on the board.
Yeah, he had 2 outs in the inning, but he does not survive the 6th. It's 4-0 Cleveland, and the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. Tomorrow, Major League Baseball is on Fox. Orioles Indians right here. Progressive Field starts at 12:30 on Fox, or streaming on Fox Sports Go. New Baltimore pitcher is Miguel Castro, right-hander. He'll face left-handed pinch-hitting Lonnie Chisenhall. Chisenhall this year as a pinch hitter has gone 4 for 16 with 2 home runs and 9 runs batted in.
Yeah, when he was healthy there in the first half, he came off the bench and he was like a lightning rod. I know he had a grand slam. They're just going to intentionally walk him because when he pinch hit, they thought Geyer would still hit, but you're changing your defense as well. So the intentional walk will bring up Perez.
And this has been his own personal statistical category this year, the 2-out runner in scoring position. For the year, Roberto has batted .317 with runners in scoring position. But you throw a couple outs up there and he gets even better.
Yeah, he's been very good at that. But this guy's awfully tough on right-handed hitters. A 190 average, 23 for 121.
And a breaking ball in there for a strike. Now the 0-2. And he chops it foul. Came into the game with a batting average of an even .400 over his last 11 ball games. Takes up high, 1-2. Roberto has 39 hits on the year, 33 runs batted in. Trying to deliver another clutch 2-out RBI hit. Back to even at 2-2.
Back to even after a couple of fastballs missed, and he didn't get him to chase after and see if he goes back with his slider. Looked like a really good slider the first 2 pitches.
And he hung a breaking ball, but it was a little high, and Roberto ends up fouling it off. Big Friday night crowd watching the Indians lead 4-0 here in the 6th. The 2-2. Hard hit to third. Diving stop by Machado, gets up and flips it over to retire the side. The Indians increase their lead and we'll head to the 7th. The Indians seeking a 16th consecutive win, lead at 4-0. Brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. By the stylish 2017 Kia Optima. And by Homerama 2.0. Presented to you by the Home Builders Association of Greater Cleveland. All right, back here in Cleveland as we roll on to the 7th inning tonight. Host of changes to tell you about. First, center of the diamond, Tyler Olson will come on and relieve Mike Clevenger, who went 6 2-hit shutout innings tonight. Walked 3, struck out 7. But after 98 pitches, his night is over. Lonnie Chisenhall comes in the ballgame for Brandon Guyer. He's in left. Bradley Zimmer comes in for Austin Jackson. He takes over in center field. And Giovanni Urshela is now at third. Olson's first pitch to Chris Davis is outside, ball 1. Davis walked back in the 2nd inning, fly to center in the 4th. And Tyler Olson delivers a strike to make the count 1-1. Olson's done a dynamite job on the season. Left-handed hitters, 4 for 23 against him. And it's 3-1. smashes the bat, and it's caught by Urshela for out number 1. The barrel ended up out to the right of the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, right off the end of the bat. Now, I mean, you couldn't have placed Urshela at shortstop any better. With the ball off the bat here of Chris Davis, you can see it just shattered out there off the end of the bat. So he comes back, makes a good 3-1 pitch, and gets the out.
Whenever that happens as a hitter, does any hitter ever go back in there and take the blame, or do you just say it's bad wood, faulty wood, manufacturing defect?
No, you can't fool those guys. It's off the end of the bat. You tell them that, they'll laugh you out of the dugout. There's no faulty wood. It's
think that one was made out of balsa.
Especially on a 3-1 count where he didn't have to swing it. You know, he could have taken that pitch for a strike. At least I thought it was a 3-1 count.
One ball and 2 strikes. They count on big Mark Trumbo, who has grounded out, struck out tonight. Just did get a piece of that, and Trumbo stays alive. Twins lead the Royals 3-1. They're in the 3rd. Brewers, they're fighting for their playoff lives in the NL wild card race. They're out to a 2-0 lead over the Cubs at Wrigley. They're in the 3rd inning over the National League. Swung on and missed. Trumbo went chasing, and he comes up empty, and there are 2 down. As we promised you earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Mike Clevenger with his 3rd consecutive scoreless outing.
Yeah, how about that? Going 6 innings, allowing 3 hits. They turned a double play here and really settled in. So it seems like he's going out there, and with every start, he's getting a little more confidence every time out.
In the air to left. And Tyler Olson breezes through the 7th inning. It remains Cleveland 4, Baltimore nothing. But we can tell you that for the Indians, Jason Kipnis, Michael Brantley, Andrew Miller all on the DL. Saw Kipnis on the field today. Saw Andrew Miller out on the field today, and Andre Knott has more on that.
Well, with Andrew Miller, it looks like they're going to try to get him 2 more simulated games, guys, in the next couple of days, much like what they did today here at Progressive Field before batting practice.
First ball swinging, chopped up the middle, cut off, and Beckham throws out Gonzalez by a whisker, 1 down.
And here is Miller today on the mound, pitching against and throwing against Jason Kipnis. They feel like if they can do 2 more of these in the next 4 to 5 days, then activate Andrew Miller. And then he told me after throwing, he says the knee feels much better, much stronger, and he feels if he can get 4 to 5 outings before the end of the season, he'll be in a good place. Now, Tito said that may not be what he gets. They'll try. They don't know it, but that's the game plan going forward. Andrew Miller getting 2 more simulated games as they did yet today, and then try to get him in as many games as they can as this season wraps up, probably middle of this homestand. Jason Kipnis, I'll tell you about after this pitch. Kipnis is close as well, but the problem they're running in with Kipnis and Brantley, there's no more minor league games. Brantley still isn't able to come on the field and run. He's still running on that device that they have in the back. Whatever you want to call it.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting. Go ahead. What do they call that device?
It's a nice device that they have that's going uphill, but it's not on the ground.
There's a base hit.
I'm going home.
Francisco Lindor singles with 1 out here in the 7th inning.
But what they will try to do with Jason Kipnis, maybe in the middle of next week, is try to get him some simulated games as well. Use the Moramondos and some of the guys that are down in the bullpen to throw to him. But after that, Terry Francona was very honest with me. He doesn't know exactly how he'll be able to get Kipnis and Brantley going. They're going to do their best they can. But with 3.5 weeks to go in the season, guys, it's a little bit playing with the guys that you have, and trying to get guys healthy is tough with no minor league baseball games.
That's the bottom line, Andre. You can't send them out. They can't get any action. It is very difficult to get them. You can't simulate a game. You know, I mean, you can to a certain extent, but it's not at the speed or the level of a Major League Baseball game. So it is hard to get these guys work.
Bradley Zimmer takes it downstairs. Runner goes, pitches down low, the throw, safe.
Yeah, he got in there. The hand gets in there. And I'll tell you, Joseph made a good throw from behind the plate. It was right on the money. Lindor had a nice jump, and he just beats it out. He's open, heads down, never peeks back. Going head first, watch the hand hit, and then the tag comes around the elbow. So Frankie will get his 13th stolen base.
13 out of 16 on the year now for Lindor. He's in scoring position for Zimmer. What are the Orioles doing? They still thinking about challenging?
No, they're going to put him on first base.
Okay.
They're going to walk him. That's what they're going to do to bring the double play in order with Urshela up now because he went in for defense.
First and second, 1 out.
Yeah, after coming off that series in Chicago, the Indians lead the league now in walks. They have walked 4 times again tonight.
Urshela came on for Yandy Diaz, who, by the way, now has 10 hits in his last 30 at-bats. Gio in his last 15 games, batting .303 with 8 runs batted in, including 3 doubles.
Trying to deliver a knockout punch here.
Almost got knocked out himself.
Well, you figure he's got to zone in now. He doesn't want to walk him. You've got Encarnacion on deck.
Richard Blyer loose in the Baltimore pen, but he's up for Jay Bruce. The 3-0. Bullseye. Three-one. Ball 4. Now they're loaded up. And we've got a game break with Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt and Rick, let's head out to Minnesota and Kansas City at Kauffman Stadium. Royals had an early 1-0 lead. Minnesota, though, is up 3-1 now, thanks in part to Rosario, who sends this one out to right field, his 21st homer on the season. 3-1 Minnesota leads Kansas City, bottom of the 3rd inning against Ian Kennedy and the Royals in KC.
Now, did you see where that pitch was? You can't pitch that guy up. He'll go up a ladder. He'll hit it over his head. It doesn't matter.
Could have put it on a tee for him.
Unbelievable. Well, hey, give credit to Paul Molitor and that Twins team. They continue to play hard. Even when they get knocked back a peg or two, they're still fighting.
They will never quit.
No way.
They never have in that organization. They never will. They will fight you to the 27th out. And I don't care where they stand in the standings.
Still very much in the race for that wild card spot. They began the day owning the second wild card position. Bases loaded, 1 out. Here's Edwin taking a strike.
Current's getting ready to fly. She wants to see it fly. Hit the big 3-run home run in the 1st inning to get the Indians off and running.
Pulls that foul. And now Edwin down on the count, 0-2. This is where, though, Encarnacion, he's not quite in the Carlos Santana category as far as down 0-2, and the next thing you know, it's 2-2, 3-2. But he's been pretty good at staying patient. Oh, that was a pretty good 0-2 pitch. You don't get a lot of those.
Well, you don't expect an 0-2 pitch up here. That's one thing. He was sitting breaking ball. He was probably looking breaking ball, but I guarantee it wasn't right there. Just maybe a little too high for him.
Miguel Castro delivers the 0-2. Challenged him again. That was a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Inside part of the foot, front foot. He was trying to get out and watch that ball go. Back foot. At 97. That's why it was the back foot. He didn't get out in front of that one.
Parrots are ready to fly. I'll tell you what, Miguel Castro, he kept going right at him, and he eventually strikes him out with a good 97-mile-an-hour fastball. And Buck Showalter will go back to his bullpen now as he wants Richard Blyer to come on and face Jay Bruce. Bases loaded, 2 down. Indians up 4-0, and we'll be right back.
77 white replica jersey. That'll be tomorrow as this series continues against the Orioles. Ball game starts at 1 o'clock. Fans can also enjoy a pregame block party in the right field district. Just visit Indians.com for the tickets.
Richard Blyer. He's on to face Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce 0 for 3 tonight. Has struck out, flied out, grounded out. And with Baltimore already trailing 4-0, Richard Blyer knows that he must retire Bruce, or the Indians will put this thing away. Jay has flirted with a home run a couple of times tonight. 4th inning, he had a good swing and a pitch and just missed it. Popped it a little bit up, and it died out there in right field. And then in the 6th, he hit one right down the line. It just went foul in front of the foul pole. Up the ladder he went. It stays 0-2. Bounced in there. Look at Lindor breaking for home. The slide, he is safe.
How about that for Hustle?
Great jump.
You know, when you're leading by 4, you can take those chances. He got a good read on that ball, and I mean, it's right in front of him. And he was off. He had just that split-second decision. He says, I'm gone. And Joseph couldn't field it cleanly, so everybody moves up. It'll go as a wild pitch, but that's just outstanding hustle there by Lindor.
Now the 1-2 pulls it foul. Bradley Zimmer now at 3rd.
He'll do the same thing if it happens again. We got a chance in that Chicago series to see some of the speed that the Indians have on this team now in September, when you had Allen and Zimmer, and you've got Lindor, and you've got Ramirez when healthy, and he's out there. I'll tell you, it's fun. It's fun to watch guys that can run the bases.
Another fouled off by Jay Bruce. You know, even when you've had almost 500 at bats in the season, you miss a week, and nice to have an at bat like this to kind of feel like you see some pitches.
Yeah, after missing the time that he missed.
But the strikeout eventually ends the inning. However, the Tribe adds to their lead, and it's now 5-0 Cleveland as we go to the 8th. Telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Eighth inning here in Cleveland. Brian Shaw will take over after Tyler Olson worked one perfect inning of relief with a strikeout. Shaw has the number 9 hitter, Caleb Joseph, who's going to be lifted for a pinch hitter. And then the top of the order, Chance Sisco will bat now for Baltimore.
That's a baseball name, huh? Chance Sisco. Used to be a Galen Sisco.
Yeah.
He was a pitcher and pitching coach.
Out of play.
Wind's starting to pick up a little bit more than what it has at the start of the game, and it looks like it's coming in straight in from right center field. A little cooler breeze.
Chance Sisco's numbers at AAA. Galen Sisco, you were talking about before, his name was spelled a little differently. He was C-I-S-C-O. And he played at Ohio State. He was a quarterback.
Okay.
As well as a baseball player. I'm sorry, he was a fullback, not a quarterback. Fullback / linebacker / pitcher.
Went both ways. He was offense, defense, did it all.
I remember him as a pitching coach, though. In particular with the Blue Jays when they'd come here to Progressive Field. Got him looking. Sisco is retired for out number 1. Brian Shaw gets the strikeout.
It looked like it was a good pitch down and away. There it was, right on the outside edge. It gets the call. A little cutter. Bingo. That's the 9th Oriole to strike out tonight. Clevenger had 7. Olson had 1, and now Shaw has 1.
Tim Beckham. Tim Beckham had 50 hits in the month of August. And only Cal Ripken Jr. has more hits in a calendar month in Orioles history when he had 53 hits in September of 1983. Isn't that the year they won the World Series?
Yes, it is. It sure is. That was his 2nd year. Now remember, Kipnis had the 51, 52 hits in the month of May, and we said, man, I mean, how many times did he get 2, 3 hits in a night? That's hard to do in a month.
Not only that, but also think about coming to a new team and doing that.
Yeah, he got off to a tremendous start. He was player of the week. Shortly thereafter, he was traded from Tampa to come to Baltimore. And you talk about under the radar. And, you know, they went with Echeverria. They ended up getting to play shortstop for him. And this is a good young looking ball player, man. He fits into this lineup nicely. Hitting in front of Machado and Scope.
The 1-2. Oh, he's out looking. Brian Shaw punches out a pair.
Well, another one that's going to be down and away, and Beckham upset he didn't go after, but that's just a perfect cutter. He went one to the outside part of the plate right there. The last one was on the backdoor variety to the left-handed hitter, and that cutter came in to the outside edge. So he has made 2 perfect pitches, and he has 2 called strikeouts.
Manny Machado. 1 out of 3 tonight. A little low 2-0. I don't know that I'd necessarily call it a record, but I can't imagine anybody has ever had 50 hits in their first month with a team.
Well, if they did, that's hard to believe.
Because most guys, your first month with a team is when you're just coming up for the first time. And most guys, when they get traded, it's either in the offseason, so you're talking about the first month of the season, or you sign as a free agent, so it's the first month of the season, or it's right in the middle in a trading deadline scenario.
Very, very hard.
Gotta be tough to do. Rare indeed. 2-1 pitch. Machado bounces it to short. Lindor scoops it up, flips it over. Got him. Brian Shaw with a 1-2-3-8. 2 perfect innings of bullpen relief for the Indians. Bottom of the 8th coming up 5-0 Cleveland.
Yes, another mini ball has been made tonight. These are coming quick and fast. I can't explain everything to you, but this is Zach McAllister. But Jason Barre's picture's in here as well. If you look really close, and it says, Dad? As I said, some things are better off not explained. I'm not going to explain it because I can't, and I won't at this point in time. But that's 3 in one game. It's like Tito going to the bullpen right now, guys.
Well, here's Carlos Santana leading off the home half of the 8th. 2 hits and a walk tonight and an RBI. Mr. Second half continues to sizzle. '17 hits now in his last 44 at bats. Now 584 career runs batted in. His next RBI will put him ahead of Omar Vizquel. This one's a chopper right to Jonathan Scope with the shift on. He throws him out. One away. Hey, the Red Cross depends on financial donations to be able to provide disaster relief immediately. To help people affected by Hurricanes Harvey and Irma by visiting redcross.org. Or all you can do is text Red Cross to 90999. That'll be a $10 donation. And believe me, those folks are going to need all the help they can get. And we are going to all say a prayer for the folks down in South Florida, because it appears that Hurricane Irma is now headed directly for Miami.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, does it?
They have tried to evacuate everybody. Lonnie went around. And it's 0-2. Oh boy. Deep center. Back goes Adam Jones, and just shy of the warning track. That wind you talked about that picked up may have knocked that one down a little bit. I don't know that it still would have gotten out of here, but he put a good swing on it, hit it to the big part of the yard, and there are 2 down, and Buck Showalter wants to make another pitching change. So timeout here in Cleveland with the Indians. Wait a minute, has he made the move yet? Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, when Buck goes out, it's done. It's a done deal.
We'll be right back.
$15 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. The seats are located in the family deck near the kids clubhouse and are only available at indians.com/kids ticket.
Chris Tillman is coming on now for Baltimore. Been a starter all year long. Not a very good one at that.
No, he's had his issues this year. He's had a tough time. I remember when he started the game against us back in Baltimore, he could not get to the pitch inside, you know, to the glove hand. He was to the left-handed hitters all up and away. But coming in here with 2 outs now, bottom half of the 8th inning, trying to get the 1 out.
And Roberto Perez fouls it straight back.
Indians right now staring at another shutout.
They lead baseball with 16 of those. Carlos Carrasco came within a ninth inning
strike
home run of a complete game shutout in Chicago.
Yes, he did. 8 2/3. Had that shutout and then a solo home run. Got the next guy out.
Inside, he missed 2-2. But Carrasco with 14 wins, one behind Trevor Bauer and Corey Kluber for the team lead. Down low. Josh Tomlin gets the starting assignment tomorrow in a game you can see on Fox 8 here in Cleveland, and then Trevor Bauer will pitch on Sunday night on the ESPN game. Popped him straight up, back out of play, I do believe. Yes.
Yeah, that game tomorrow, remember, it's a 1:05 start here on Fox, so little day baseball tomorrow on Saturday.
High fly ball, left field.
That's foul too.
And that's going to get out of play. Get the inside scoop on the big matchup with Oklahoma with head coach on Game Time with Urban Meyer tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on Fox Sports Ohio and streaming on Fox Sports Go. Two down in the ninth, and Roberto Perez with a 3-2 count. That'll end the inning. And we'll go to the ninth with the Indians 3 outs away from a 16th consecutive win. Car Care is coming up next here on Sports Time Ohio. Alan Jensen will break down the ball game for you, and sure they're going to take a long hard look at how well Mike Clevenger pitched in this game here tonight. Third consecutive scoreless start for Clev. 2 hits of shutout baseball over his 6 innings of work. Andre Knott will talk one-on-one with Clevenger after the ball game, so stick around right here on Sports Time Ohio. Pat O'Brien Chevrolet play of the game.
Oh boy, yeah, go back to that first inning. Edwin Encarnacion, second straight day, hit a first inning 3-run home run, and that just got the Indians off and running again, as they so often have done in this winning streak.
Nick Goody will be the 4th Indians pitcher to work here tonight. And Goody will have the 3, 4, 5 hitters due up for Baltimore. Jonathan Scope, Adam Jones, Trey Mancini. You know, a little different opponent tonight, Rick, than, you know, say the last couple of series where, let's face it, the Indians were playing teams that were obviously looking to the future in Detroit and in Chicago. But this is an Orioles club that came in here very much alive in the wild card race. Baltimore right behind the Angels, just 2 back of Minnesota for the 2nd wild card position. But the Indians using a familiar formula here tonight. Jump them early, good starting pitching, let the bullpen take over. They also added on to that lead.
They added a couple of, you know, single runs on. One was, you know, a wild pitch where Lindor hustled his way in to get it to 5, and the little things where they play very aggressive.
Goody with a 1-1 and a foul right back. Good rip by Scope. You know, I suppose no matter what the contest, football, basketball, wrestling, I don't care what, ice hockey, you take the fight to the opponent early, you strike first, you put them back on their heels, has to give you a leg up. And then you have to be able to sustain it. You can't just hit them and then back off the rest of the way.
No, right. It doesn't matter. You talk to any manager, and Tito's always said this way, you score that first run, they're going to have to score 2 to beat you, you know. So it does. It helps, and I think a lot of big league clubs play that way. If you can get it early, it makes it a little bit easier for your pitchers. You can be a little more aggressive as an offense.
Well, they're 64-19 overall this year when they score first, and they've won each of their last 21 when they have scored first. Did he go? They appeal. He gone. 1 down. Storylines brought to you by Mazda. Mike Clevenger continues to put up goose eggs. And Manny Machado, who has been a real pain against the AL Central. The Indians held him in check tonight, just 1 for 4. That 2-out single back in the 3rd. Once again tonight, too, the defense has been solid. Not necessarily spectacular, but they've made every play. And that double play they turned in the 2nd might have been a big boost for Clevenger, because Adam Jones, the leadoff man, drew a walk. But before he could even get settled as a base runner at first, Trey Mancini grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. $11 strikeouts for Indians pitching here tonight. And what did we say? The Indians trying to become the first team to average 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. And here they are once again, putting up the Ks one after another. Now this crowd of better than 30,000 sensing the Tribe closing in on it now. And a 1-2. high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Understand, plenty of good seats remain for Sunday's series finale. It's a Sunday night game now, moved for television for ESPN. So if you want to come down and cap off your great sports weekend, this will be the place to be on Sunday night. That's an 8 o'clock start. 2-2 pitch. Line to center. Zimmer on the move. Makes the catch. 2 down. Everybody up. Nick Goody looks in. And a fastball strike at the knees. You know what's been crazy too? A lot of these games during this streak period, a lot of them haven't been close. I mean, there have been a few, but
no, they've been outscoring their opponents 4 to 5 to 1.
Blew it by him, and it's 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch, way outside. Goody ready now. Here's the 1-2. Line drive and a base hit into center field for Trey Mancini. So that keeps it alive for Baltimore. It's going to bring up Chris Davis, who has walked, flied out, lined out. Twins lead Kansas City 6-2 in the 5th inning at Kauffman Stadium. Davis chases a ball in the dirt.
It was surprising he went up there to be aggressive and swung at a ball. And normally you try and make that pitcher work a little bit, but
Tribe has the infield shift on. 3 to the right side for Davis in the dirt. And Perez did everything he could, but the ball in the dirt bounces away from him. Goody trying to really throw a nasty slider, and he just never had a chance with this one.
yeah, got him to swing at that one down on the first pitch.
This crowd hasn't had many opportunities to cheer the local 9. 22 of their last 29 have been on the road, but opening a 10-game homestand here tonight. And Lindor will throw to first. The win streak continues. 16 in a row. The Indians reduce their magic number to 11. For a second consecutive AL Central crown. 5-0 the final score here tonight as they take the series opener against Baltimore. Mike Clevenger the winner. He's now 9-5 and he's off to 3 consecutive scoreless starts.
Well, Matty, they come back. They did the same thing they've been doing all along. They score early. They turn it over to a pitcher that throws some shutout innings. Clevenger, his 3rd straight game where he's gone 6 innings and is not allowed to run. when they add on later, when they end up winning again for the 16th consecutive game.
All right, so with the 16th consecutive win now, this list gets a little shorter since 1936 now. Now we're going back a little farther. There's the longest winning streaks in baseball. Not many left on the list.
No, there are not.
So the Indians are now 65-19 this year when they score first. And how about this? When they lead after just 2 innings, the Tribe is now 47-7.
Wow.
We're back with some final thoughts right after this.